Stanley Kubrick has been taken down as one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. With only having made 13 feature-length films in his entire career, what makes him stand out among all the others that we renown? Kubrick's mise-en-scene is a specific arrangement of set, choice of perspective, and use of geometry in his framings, and these have made his visual style truly remarkable. In 2001, A Space Odyssey, Kubrick's particular placement of furniture facing the center, use of matching grids on both the floor and on David Bowman's duvet, choice of mute green palette, and perfect symmetry come together to create an eerie and supernatural energy on his set, giving the Black Obelisk an ominous character and helping develop his storyline. Kubrick's particular mise-en-scene can also be shown in his motifs, such as his use of maze-like designs in The Shining, resembling disorientation, confusion, and madness, all of which are essential themes to his story.
Here's Johnny!
So we know it's a Kubrick film when there is a specific placement of set pieces that utilizes geometry and orientation. But what else makes a Stanley Kubrick film so notable? One of the most defining features in any of his films, Stanley Kubrick utilizes cinematography to bring the movie close to the viewer. Stanley Kubrick's camera movement can be characterized by his unique use of zoom. Kubrick uses a slow, controlled zoom to emphasize key moments. By limiting what is in view inside the frame, it gives more attention to the dialogue. This, combined with the character's demeanor, helps reveal traits or machinations which are essential to his stories, using it as his own sort of Chekhov's gun. Combined with the Kubrick stare, it is a powerful part of his toolkit for him to add stress or significance to parts of his plot.
Those individuals showed what one motivated Marine and his rifle can do. And before you ladies leave my island, you will all be able to do the same thing. Here's my rifle.
Another key part of Kubrick's camera movement is his use of tracking shots. Keeping a close but controlled distance from the subject, Kubrick's tracking shots give the viewer a sense of involvement in the scene, adding a layer of immersion to his worlds and effectively brings his viewers closer. Overall, Stanley Kubrick's strategic use of cinematography, from striking visual patterns to distinct camera control, adds to the themes of complexity in his films, using the design and motion of the set to not only draw the eyes of the viewer towards the subject, but also create unique environments that add to his characters, world building, themes, and plots. So Kubrick has a distinct visual style, but what about his audio? An iconic aspect of all Kubrick films is attributed to his choice of sound, and often, its absence. Kubrick frequently uses the absence of sound to emphasize different emotional tones in his scenes, but this is most remarkably seen in his film 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid, Dave. Dave, my mind is going.
A lack of sound in this scene highlights the tension and emotional weight felt as Bowman slowly disables the higher cognitive function of the computer, HAL 9000, emphasizing the brutality of the scene while also adding to the tranquility after the villain has been defeated. Let's look at another example. In this scene, Kubrick uses the strategic lack of sound to forward the isolation felt by the astronauts. Whilst this is not immediately relevant, Later in the movie, it adds to the feeling of isolation and that they are alone with no help from the outside world when combating the computer HAL 9000. So we all know it's Stanley Kubrick when there's no music, but when there's a score, what does he use? A defining part of any Kubrick film is his use of classical music. Kubrick does not employ score like most directors, saving it only for when it can carry the most weight. In this scene from A Clockwork Orange, Alex, our main character, is forced to watch heinous acts of violence and assault, acts which he had previously taken enjoyment in. However, he is injected with nausea-inducing drugs and is conditioned to be repulsed at even the thought of such an act. As he is being tormented, classical music is being played. This ironic action of playing beautiful classical music over the horrifying visuals is what makes Kubrick's style so effective. It gives the viewer a truly unforgettable experience. Not only is this effect used in Clockwork Orange, but also in his other films, such as Dr. Strangelove.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know.
Or to create a sense of anxiety and stress in the viewer by swapping the roles of the visuals and the music, juxtaposing tense music with beautiful natural scenes in his other films like Space Odyssey and The Shining. Overall, Kubrick employs his unique style in many aspects of cinematography to create extraordinary films that generate immersive experiences that stick with his viewers.